But that's not all Amani has to say. She also holds a very derogatory view of men. Take a listen.
But what do you look for in a man?
I don't look for anything in a man. I don't look for a man.
Now it sounds like it's not only children that she doesn't want, but she doesn't even want to have a meaningful relationship. She holds a bad view of men altogether. We've seen this.
Black women coming hard for Candace Owens. You wonder why? Why are black people always coming hard for Candace? Because they know that Candace looks black just from the outside, but in the inside, she's not black. From the way she talks, from the way she does things, you see that she's not for the black community. And she has outrightly said that she doesn't belong to the black community. So, without much ado, let's take a look at these black women coming hard for Candace.
So y'all, why I hop online today, and the first thing I'm seeing are notifications from people saying, girl, Candace Owens is talking about you on her YouTube. I'm like, what? I love Candace Owens, so let me go see what she's talking about.
But we also are starting to see conversations and podcasters, a lot of women, talking about why they simply don't want children. Here's a podcaster named Amani Wortham talking about just that. Take a listen.
When you think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born there to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
Well, I think you can say at least Amani Wortham is honest. She's admitting to the fact that she is selfish and she wants her life to be about her.
Now, we all know that Candace Owens is very conservative, and conservatives and weird men love telling women what to do with their bodies, right? But my whole thing is, Candace, if having children is so great and that's the only purpose that you had in your life, why do you have your show? Oh, so being a mommy wasn't the only thing you wanted to do. Oh, okay, let's keep going.
But that's not all Amani has to say. She also holds a very derogatory view of men. Take a listen.
But what do you look for in a man?
I don't look for anything in a man. I don't look for a man.
Now it sounds like it's not only children that she doesn't want, but she doesn't even want to have a meaningful relationship. She holds a bad view of men altogether. We've seen this.
Are men good people? Okay, let's talk about it. Do they not make up the perpetrators of most domestic cases? Are they not the serial killers, the let's really get into it. Do they not uphold patriarchy that is harmful to women and children every single day? Are they not the ones children? Are they not the ones up schools? But even knowing all that stuff, I still push for marriage for people because I know that healthy, positive relationships and marriages do still exist. So let's talk about that. Well, we don't even got to talk about that. Let's get into what she said lastly.
And by the way, when you look at that clip of her, you can see that there is no internal joy coming out of her. This is not a happy woman that is speaking. I know it's supposed to be sold to you as this is INDEPE, independent woman. She's confident as well. No, none of those things are happening. What I'm sensing is actually a deep internal sadness.
Candy girl, I got joy every day of my life. I get to wake up and decide to do with my day what I please every single day. I don't gotta do nothing that nobody tell me to do. I also have joy in my life because Jesus Christ died on the cross for me. Do you have joy in your life with your white husband? Okay, so let's focus on that. But you know what? Even though I said all that, I like Candace Owens. That's the crazy thing. I like Candace Owens. For real, for real. And Candace Owens, if you're ever in the Atlanta area, I would absolutely love for you to guest on my podcast, on my Let's Talk It Out on my Patreon. I would love it. People would love it. I would love it. I think we would have more in common than what you think. I mean, if you don't agree with my content, that's one thing. But don't presume to act like you know who I am, saying, I see a very sad woman. Let's sit down and have a conversation that's so that you can form an educated opinion. Because anybody can say what they want on the internet, but let's not look crazy, okay? All right? So come on down to Atlanta. Amani Talks, I'll host you. It'll be a great conversation. People would love it.
Yes, Candace is right in some cases. But in this case, you can't just listen to someone and then you assume that the person is lonely, they're unhappy. This sounds familiar. It sounds like the red pill talking points. Guys, what do you think about this? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Let's continue.
That she doesn't want, but she doesn't even want to have a meaningful relationship.
Hey guys, really quick, I'm just jumping in to say romantic relationships aren't the only meaningful relationships in life.
Yes, sis.
Remember that. Romantic relationships aren't the only meaningful relationships.
100%.
Okay?
And the first thing I'm seeing are notifications from people saying, girl, Candace Owens is talking about you on her YouTube.
About 1 year ago, I had the displeasure of being featured on Candace Owens' show for this exact same reason, but specifically talking about having a dink lifestyle. There is certainly an agenda to try and force women to have children, and these people, specifically Candace Owens, are the puppets of that agenda, even though they're not even practicing what they preach. Yes, Candace has 3 children or whatever, but actually in terms of actually mothering, investing all of her life into being a mother, dedicating her body, soul, time to being a mother, you are a successful businesswoman. Like, let's be for real, Candace. There were certain things that Candace Owens would say, which I'd be like, okay, that's perfectly reasonable in other contexts. But I am certain that people on the Daily Wire are paid some sort of stipend to talk about child rearing, force people to be mothers, shame people for choosing an independent lifestyle. Because whenever they talk on this subject, they are so aggressively obtuse. Go back and watch that previous video and she talks you through some of the key points that Candace said. And the thing is, it's so funny how Candace Owens and the like talk so much about the importance of motherhood and all of this, when actually, you know, you are millionaires and you are spending so much time making your podcast. Who's looking after your children while you're doing that? And I remember thinking that when, you know, she came and attacked me. But one of the things that I found that was most obtuse about the way that she approached my case was the fact that the video that she chose, and when she chose it, there'd been maybe like 10 videos providing context, and all of them provided context. That one video is the one video which was like a follow-up video with no context. So
You look at that clip of her, you can see that there is no internal joy coming out of her.
Guys, what do you think about her? She said Candace might have been paid to talk about being a traditional wife, raising kids, having children, you know, because when they talk about it, when she talks about it, she's so aggressive with it, but she doesn't really practice what she preaches. Do you agree or you disagree? Because I've seen Candace in multiple occasions on podcasts when she was asked by the host that with the lifestyle that she has, with doing podcasts, with being a media personality and raising kids and being a wife, which one will she choose? She said she would choose being a mother any day, anytime. But I don't know, like she rightly pointed out, she doesn't really practice what she preaches because she's doing podcasts and she's hustling and following the back, you know. And Candace is a millionaire, as she said. One wouldn't really think about it that way, but think about it this way. Candace is a millionaire. She's got money, you know. So let's continue.
You can see that there is no internal joy coming out of her.
No, Candace, that's you. I don't ever see you have a genuine smile. All I see you do is go on these miserable rants all day. Life has way more to offer women nowadays than being a mother and being stuck in the damn house. You drop that baby first, and then you see how it is.
Dang, I almost went a whole day without being petty. But let's get into it. Baby, y'all heard about what Candace Owens had said about this Amani girl? Hold on, y'all. Just look at this.
Well, I think you can say at least Amani Wortham is honest. She's admitting to the fact that she is selfish and she wants her life to be about...
Baby, Candace Owens, big forehead ass, mad because he good on one no kid. God, what is wrong with you? Baby, I just never understood, like, baby, and she talking like she done went out to eat with this girl. She talking like she went to high school with the Amani girl, baby, because she just reading this girl whole life. Just listen to what else she said.
Now it sounds like it's not only children that she doesn't want, but she doesn't even want to have a meaningful relationship. She holds a bad view of men altogether.
Woo, child, baby. Candace want to be the Breakfast Club so bad. Who she thinks she an academic? Girl, what is this called? Daily Wire? Counsel? Baby, if I was Amani, baby, I would have sued her for defamation of character, baby. Because how you don't know what that girl got? It's like Candace, baby. How you know that this girl already don't have a man. Like, baby, you don't know this girl life. Y'all.
Candace said that because she said she doesn't really want a man. She doesn't need a man. That's what she said, right?
You can see that there is no internal joy coming out of her. This is not a happy woman that is speaking. I know it's supposed to be sold to you as this is INDEPE, independent woman. She's confident as well. No, none of those things are happening. What I'm sensing is actually a deep internal sadness.
Baby, Candace, big Polar Express head ass. Don't you like that little girl out Polar Express? Girl, then she really wanted to sing Webby. Candace really ghetto. You can really tell she really kind of hood. She wanted to sing the hell out that Webby song, that Boosie and Webby song. Sing, girl. Stop acting like you don't know that song. But anyway, how you gonna sit up there and just try to read this girl from a podcast episode, baby? From a podcast episode, big ass. You know, I just can't stand this, baby. You don't even know the girl. And you sit there made a whole segment with your flower shirt on. Girl, it's still wintertime. It ain't spring. What y'all think? Is she reaching? Do y'all think Candace Owens is just really reaching on this girl podcast? Like, I just think that's so lame. Then gonna get some pictures of her with her little dress on. Girl, Candace. Her hair cute though. But what y'all think? But you know what? The Amani girl got a message for that Amani girl. She cute too, girl. She got a message for you, Candace Owens. Hold on.
Candace Owens, if you're ever in the Atlanta area, I would absolutely love for you to guest on my podcast.
It's actually a deep internal sadness.
Candy girl, I got joy every day of my life.
This is the issue that I have a bit with Candace. Don't get me wrong, I watch her, she's very entertaining. But when we see children who are being abused and who are being neglected emotionally, physically, and financially, we sit there and usually go along with the lines of they don't deserve children. This is a good example that not everyone deserves to have children. My thing is, why does it have to get to the point to bring children to make these statements? I do believe that bad people are going to have children regardless. It's very hard to spot them in millions and millions of people. And I'm not sitting here and saying that the creator that she is responding to, Candace, thinks that she's going to be a terrible mother. But people do not understand how much self-awareness, reflection, and maturity it takes to make a decision to say, children are not for me. You give up being selfish. And though that is viewed as a positive thing, people forget that it eats you up in the inside and you lose an identity of yourself because you are putting so much time and attention to something else that isn't you. And that's where moms forget to take care of themselves. It takes a lot of maturity and acknowledging that motherhood just wouldn't be a good fit for you, knowing that, you know, you probably wouldn't give your 100% to a kid. And I understand why she would promote all women to be mothers. Candace, you're rich, babe. You're able to afford 4 or 5 children. And I don't think this would be the last pregnancy that we see from you. Her baby that's freshly a newborn, by the way, may I add, is probably in the hands of a nanny or a family member. Some women don't have that. We know it's a financial, draining of someone's pocket to even have a child. Don't get me wrong, I find fulfillment just like Candace in being a mom. But I became a young mom. I became a mom in literally last year. I'm in my early 20s. Of course I find purpose and fulfillment, but a part of me still thinks and feels, and those feelings are valid, that damn, I could have done more. I'm not sitting here and saying that children are a burden, but they make life difficult. Your whole schedule in life is on that kid. Traveling with them in the scary world is just not for everybody. It's very reckless. I saw an interview once of a mom who went on a podcast and said, if I could turn back the time and not have my kids, I would. Because some women are not built for motherhood. I love my kid. I would not change a thing. To sit there and call a woman saying that, oh, she's sad. She's so sad because she doesn't have kids. Again, it makes sense, Katniss, that you find fulfillment in being a mom. I'm not sitting here and diminishing her role as a mom, but the fact that you're rich, able to afford daycare and nannies. You're able to go on college campuses and talk and give speech, have a podcast, do any businesses outside of that, videos and everything that is in between. How do you have the time to do that? You are able to have the time because you are able to pay for time. Unlike me, I have to find the time. You get to enjoy being a mom at the best moments at times because you get to be able to do your makeup every day, do your hair, do your maintenance, do things that find more purpose in your life, like your podcast and talking to college campuses and trying to make a difference. Some moms do not have that, so it just makes sense that you would promote motherhood to everyone because your life is great. If you want kids, great. If you don't want kids, great.
You can see that there is no internal joy coming out of her. This is not a happy.
Well, actually, every time I see a video of Candace talking, she looks miserable. Like, you can just see it in the depths of her soul. But she tries very, very hard. Number one, to be politically correct every time she speaks in those videos. And number two, tries very hard to seem happy. On another note, what makes y'all think, whether you're that dude that was on the podcast with her or you Candace Owens, what makes you think that making a whole video about someone who doesn't want children or doesn't look forward to being married, what makes you think making a whole video about that is going to change their mind? Like, even for the men that are constantly online complaining and saying, oh, you're just going to die alone and with 10 cats, what makes you think that that's going to deter me from doing what I love to do, which is being left alone? Like, if anything, it only even amplifies our beliefs that y'all ain't shit. So why even be around y'all? Why even have you in my vicinity? Look, 2024, y'all need to start worrying about y'all own. Y'all need to start worrying about your own ovaries. Y'all need to start worrying about your own bodies and what you're doing with yourself. Okay? Because nothing you come and say on this internet about anybody else's choices with their life or their personal bodily autonomy is going to make them change what they're doing. Is going to do what they want. And I followed this beautiful young lady for quite some time now. In every single one of her videos, whether she's reading a fills out a podcast or whether she's just making a cute video in her bathroom, she looks like she's living the life. Girl, look at her with no makeup, looking good. She don't look depressed. She don't look sad. On the other hand, Candace Owens, I don't know when I've ever seen you without makeup in a video. You know, you gotta make sure your makeup artist, you know, gets up under them dark eye circles, you know, them under eye circles and shit. Because, you know, you be tired. You be tired of being in everybody else's business, bitch.
So, y'all, why I hop online today, and the first thing I'm seeing are no...
Man, some of these conservatives just don't give up, do they? Like, they really will not leave child-free women alone. Like, there's another one that I know of, you know, another lady on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel and she talks about all this, she makes excuses for a lot of the toxic, you know, like that some of these men do, and a lot of the misogyny, and you know, and I've seen her dedicate entire videos to like roasting. One of them was roasting single child-free women, and then another one was like roasting child-free couples or whatever it is. It's like, why? Again, it's like no happy person gets on the internet and talks about somebody else. You know, I'm like, are you guys as happy as you say you are? Or are you just angry that, you know, maybe like that you're doing everything that patriarchy's told you to do, but you're still not as fulfilled and as you were told you would be, and you're seeing somebody else do whatever they want and not follow all this patriarchal nonsense. but be happier than you? Are you resentful of them? I feel like you guys are just projecting real hard. Like, and then y'all, it's like y'all say, well, y'all like to say to child-free people, oh, but if you're so happy, why do you have to sit here on the internet and talk about it? Oh, you must not be happy. You must be really bitter. It's like, we're talking, like, see, we're child-free and we talk about our lifestyle, you know, just to like build community with other people and show them that they're not alone and stuff. But y'all are over here literally making entire videos criticizing how another person lives, as if that affects you in any way. Like, what does that have to do with you? Oh, I see a deep sadness in this person's voice, and I'm like, well, I sense a lot of resentment in your voice, honey. Like, yeah. Why do you care either way? Okay, maybe they are sad, maybe they're not. Why does it matter to you? And we're not going to sit here, and I'm like, I think what I've learned is there's going to be people that don't like it, that we talk about being child-free. They don't like our lifestyle for whatever reason. But yeah, we're not going to waste our energy and lose brain cells over trying to explain to people that don't want to understand, you know? It's just futile. Some of these people are just willfully obtuse, their own problem. And they're actually miserable. Otherwise, they wouldn't make whole podcasts and videos criticizing how someone else lives, right? Child-free people aren't making videos criticizing how parents live. Like, we have better stuff to do. So yeah, these women are unhappy. They hate their lives. They feel scammed. They're not, you know, they grew up like being told about, you know, how wonderful parenthood is. And it's like, I'm not saying it cannot be wonderful, you know. See, parenthood is wonderful for somebody that's really, really wants it, that really, really wants it, has known all their life that they wanted it, and, you know, they went into it for the right reasons and with realistic expectations. Yeah, it can be wonderful for those people. But I think for a lot of people, like, they go into it with unrealistic expectations and they're not actually as happy, and instead of just saying that and admitting to it, they'd rather just go online and criticize people that are doing whatever they want. They don't like to see that. It makes them feel bad about themselves, you know? They claim to be happy in their marriages, their lifestyles, but if that's the case, then they should just focus on enjoying their life, right? Like, it makes zero sense, you know? And a lot of parents like assume that we're criticizing, you know, one thing I find very strange. A lot of parents assume that we're criticizing them or judging them when we just talk about why we don't want to have children. And it's really odd that like parents, some parents immediately tend to jump on the defensive there, and they'll be like, they'll assume that we're talking down on them, or that we're looking down upon people who want to be parents. And that is something I found very strange, you know, like, because see, let's look at the flip. Like, if I see a parent talk about how joyful their life is with their children, they talk about what blessings their kids are, like, I'm genuinely happy for them. Like, I would never perceive that as a judgment on my lifestyle choice, unless they are explicitly coming out and talking about my lifestyle. I'm not gonna take them being happy with their life as a judgment onto mine, you know? It's just weird. That correlation makes zero sense to me. Like, it's like you're happy in your own way and I'm happy in my way, and somebody that is truly happy will accept that, and they won't have an issue. They won't feel the need to start explaining why they're happy and why parenthood gave them purpose, you know? That just blows my mind. So yeah, Candace Owens, I don't know if you're really as happy as you say you are. Yeah, otherwise you would focus on yourself.
So guys, what's your take on this? All these women calling out Candace for dragging Amani Talks for choosing to be child-free and not wanting a man. What's your take on this?